So let's learn how to make your own Google Map and see a few of the features that are in Google Maps. Notice when you go to Google Maps, you should see in the upper right-hand corner that you are logged in. If you're not logged in, you need to log into your Google account because you can't access these tools without being logged in. Okay, so under the menu, let me show you a few quick things first. If you're into cycling, you can click the bicycling section, and then if you type in the name of a town that you want to see where the bike trails are located, you can see that down at the bottom you'll get a key of trails, dedicated lanes, bicycle-friendly roads, and dirt or unpaved trails. So kind of a neat thing to be able to look that up wherever you might be traveling to in the U.S. Also, you could do terrain. So if I click on terrain and I'm in Coeur d'Alene right now, you can see that Coeur d'Alene itself very flat, but you can see all the terrain out around it that pops up. Okay, so if you zoom in on the terrain, you'll even get to see altitude and things like that. There's also traffic. I really like the traffic part because it allows me to get typical traffic from a place I might be traveling to. Okay, so for traffic, I'm going to jump to a city. So let's jump to, let's say, Seattle. Okay, so going to Seattle. There we go. And you can see that the traffic in Seattle in the downtown area is always pretty congested. See lots of dark red there. So if you look here, fast moving is green, slow moving is sort of a dark maroon color. So this is live traffic. This means this is what it's like in Seattle right now. But if I know I'm going to Seattle next Wednesday, then I can go to typical traffic and say Wednesday, and maybe I know I'm going to be arriving around 3 p.m. And if I switch to 3 p.m., then it's going to show me what that typical traffic flow would be on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, so you can kind of get some ideas of things before you travel. So those are just really interesting tools that are built into my maps that I use frequently. There's also a place called Your Places. So if you jump to Your Places, this is has to do with the assignment for today. So you're going to go over to the Maps feature in Your Places, and you can see that I've got dozens and dozens of maps in here, but I want to show you how to create a map. So you would go to the bottom of your map or Your Places, the Maps feature, and way at the bottom you'll see Create Map. And when you click on that, it's going to load a different page, and it'll just start you back out on the whole map of the U.S. So what you want to start with here is probably deciding what you want your base map to look like. So I could have it look like the satellite view, which I kind of prefer. I could do terrain if I know that terrain is going to have something to do with the map that I'm creating. So whichever one you prefer, go ahead and put in there. And then you're going to title your map. You can even add a description into your map, so you are actually required to add a description into yours for this lesson. So, and I think it's about the purpose of the lesson. So I'm going to say that this is to teach students how to create a Google map. Okay, but you would put in whatever the purpose of your lesson plan is, basically. Now, you can add layers to maps. Why would I want to do that? Say I was doing a map on the Civil War, and I want each battle to come up individually, but then I want to also be able to see all of the battles together. I could create each battle in a layer, and then I can choose and select all of those layers together if I want to. So you can think about using that feature if you'd like to. Another thing I'm going to show you is this share button, really, really important. Notice that maps are always set to private unless you go in and change them. So when you share this map with me, you need to go in and change that so that I can actually access your map, okay? You can also click to preview your map at any time so that you can see what it looks like on the outside. So after you have those features done, really what you need to do is go up here and start dropping pins on your map. So say I want to do a map on different places in Idaho. So I could start with Idaho Falls if I want to. Now, I'm going to get rid of that real quick and show you how to go about it from the beginning. So let's jump to Idaho Falls. And if I'm ready to add a pin to the map, I can just type it in and then hit Add to Map. You'll see once that pin goes in, then I get all of these editing tools that will pop up. So I can change the style of my marker. So maybe I want it to be that bright red. And I could also change the icon. Okay, so maybe I am talking about coffee houses in Idaho or something like that. I could pick a unique icon to go along with it. Even if you're not happy with any of their icons, you can create a custom icon and upload it. Okay, so don't feel like you can't sort of be unique here. All right, so I just changed it to a little snowboarding guy. All right, so if I want to then add text to this, and I would suggest that you do, it's part of your assignment actually, so I can then hit the edit button, and right below Idaho Falls, even in Idaho Falls with the title, I could put more title information in there, and then I can put whatever text down here that I want to. I could add a hyperlink if I want them to be able to link out to some additional information. Okay, so you have all kinds of ways that you can feed information through this tool. You can also add pictures. Okay, so if I wanted to go out and add some pictures, maybe do a Google image search, so I'm going to search out Idaho Falls. And you can see that all these pictures that are very popular of Idaho Falls pop up. So maybe I want to select that one. And if I save that one, then I can go back into photos again and be able to pull up a second one. So maybe I want this one as well. And I'm going to select it. And notice it just creates a little mini slideshow in here. I can also add video. Okay, so if I want to jump over to YouTube search and do Idaho Falls. I'm sure I'll find something on YouTube about Idaho Falls. There's the downtown area, so I'm going to select that. So now you can see that my slideshow has 2 pictures and a video. All right, so you have kind of unlimited control over the content that you want to place in there. You have the ability to put directions in if you want to right there, and then you can delete here if you ever need to remove a pin and start over again. Okay, so I'm going to place one more pin in so that I can show you an example here. So let me do Rigby, because there we go. Okay, so there's Rigby, and I can just do add to map. So once again, I can go back in here, and maybe for this one I want a different icon. So you can change up as many times as you want for icons, and I'm just, creating random things right now, not that they match what my map is really about. Then when I click on that, so when I click out of it, it will go away, but when I click back on it, I get all my editing tools again. So I could put additional information in there. I could jump to photos and start throwing some photos in, or video, whatever I want to do. Okay, so nothing under YouTube. If I go to, oh, nope, I'm going to do that. If I just go to photos, image search, I'm sure there'll be some in there. And there's Rigby. Okay, so same sort of thing. You can add all that stuff in. Okay, now what you might want to be able to do is connect your points. All right, so if you indeed do want to connect your points, you can see that there are my 2 points, and here is my draw a line feature. So notice you can add a line. You can also add a shape if you want to, and I've seen math teachers do that. Particularly had somebody who taught the Pythagorean theorem using this tool and drew triangles within her map. You could add driving routes, add biking routes, add walking routes. So I'm just going to draw a line. So I click on one, I drag to the other, I click on it, and then to get rid of this tool, because you can see that it'll keep dragging out, I have to click back in that white dot. And then after I do, it'll even let me put text into my line and photos if I want. So you've got lots and lots of options in here, but that's how to connect your lines. You also have a measurement tool that's built in. So if I wanted to decide that I need to know distance, then I can drag out my measurement tool and get distance between places. And I've seen, again, people use that because they're doing some sort of specific content area where they're looking at distance. And then up here you have an add directions feature, so I could add directions between places. So lots and lots of features, lots of stuff to do. This lesson you really have full open to anything in your content area that you might be able to apply this Google Map type of thing for. And also think of the fact that you're using it to teach a lesson, but what kinds of things could your students use it for possibly to create their own maps? Thanks.